Definitely one of the confusing parts of this technology is just the overall power.
If it seems like everyone is suddenly talking about AI, that is because they are.
At this point, I'm sure you've heard of Chat-GPT.
Chat-GPT. Se llama Chat-GPT.
Well, it was developed by the American company OpenAI.
OpenAI founder and CEO Sam Altman testifying on Capitol Hill later today. He's going to face questions about artificial intelligence and the rapid growth of Chat-GPT.
As this technology advances, we understand that people are anxious about how it could change the way we live.
At the most consequential technology of our time, artificial intelligence.
Their attempts to instill AI as a normal operating procedure is literally dehumanizing the workforce.
The CEO of OpenAI was ousted, and now he's back in.
The company's board of directors said it had lost confidence in Altman. Well, now all but one of those board members is being replaced.
In a deep sense, AI is the technology that the world, that society, people have always wanted. Sci-fi's been talking about this for a very long time.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Welcome home, sir.
A chat interface is very powerful. We all know how to use that. You can represent a lot of simple or complex concepts in language. And the new abilities that you give someone with an interface like this, I think clearly resonated.
So you can kind of date the beginning of 2023 really to November 2022, which is when OpenAI released Chat-GPT. They weren't necessarily the first to have developed this technology in-house, but they were the first to release it into the world. Chat-GPT was followed by GPT-4, which is significantly more powerful and capable than Chat-GPT.
It understands images and can express logical ideas about them. For example, it can tell us that if the strings in this image were cut, the balloons would fly away.
People extrapolated from the capabilities of Chat-GPT to the capabilities of GPT-4 and began thinking, okay, what's the technology that's going to come out in 5 years going to look like? What's the technology that's going to come out in 10 years going to look like?
We think it's very important to our mission to deploy things like Chat-GPT so that people gain some experience and feeling of the capabilities and limitations of these systems.
Now, there are some criticisms of this. One is that it creates so-called race dynamics. Companies all fighting to be first to market, to release these tools potentially dangerously, cut back on safety research in order to move faster.
I don't think it's helpful to just sort of pretend like, oh, it's all certain to be fine. We can manage this. I am confident about that, but we won't successfully manage it if we're not extremely vigilant about the risks and if we don't talk very frankly about how badly it could go wrong.
Sam Altman is a very capable public speaker and public operator. Over the course of 2023, he's really been on what you could call a victory tour and you could call a listening tour as well. He has been around the world. He's testified in front of a Senate committee. He has this kind of unique ability to be many things to many people. And that requires a combination of skills. It requires understanding the core scientific problems, sure, but it also requires being effectively a businessman and also a politician.
When we first started, we thought we could just be a nonprofit, but the costs of compute for these systems is quite intense. And so we thought really hard and designed a structure where our nonprofit has full control and governance over a capped for-profit subsidiary that can make a certain amount of money for its investors and employees to let us do what we need to do, because these models are extraordinarily expensive.
Sam Altman, who has drawn comparisons to tech giants like Steve Jobs, was dismissed by the OpenAI board Friday.
The board didn't come through with further information about why it had chosen to make such a substantial decision. Satya Nadella, the Microsoft CEO, said that Altman and Brockman could start up a new AI lab within Microsoft, and many of OpenAI's employees signed an open letter saying that they would go and join Microsoft. And what this did was it backed the board into a very difficult position. Altman's ability to basically engineer himself back onto the CEO's chair of OpenAI is testament to the incredible power that he wields. One of the questions is now, is OpenAI trending towards a future where it's a traditional tech company, where it sells its AI services to customers? and where the incentives are largely to stay ahead of competitors? And to what extent is it, going back to its original roots as a research lab, one that is willing to take decisions that might hurt its financial incentives if it means developing AI slightly more safely?